I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy.
This is Maggie Mae. Join us as we follow the moon. Today, we're walking around Hilton Head Island, and we want to take you with us as we explore a lot of the low country of South Carolina.
Thank you.
Well, we start off today in the low country at Hunting Island State Park. And I have to tell you, these are some of the prettiest beaches I think I have ever seen.
Yes.
Everything is pure white sand, and they are so wide. They're such massive beaches, and they were not heavily used.
No, they weren't.
So you could really get out and enjoy. The rocks and the sandpipers playing on them, and there was a lot of nature in the area. Maggie didn't quite know what to think of these horseshoe crabs. Tons of whole shells, not broken pieces. And sand dollars.
And sand dollars.
Yeah, I've never actually seen sand dollars washed up on the beach like that. Maggie got to spread her wings a little bit.
That's right. Here she comes.
And as a special treat, at the northern end of the beach, there's a lighthouse. Now this is the Hunting Island Lighthouse, and it dates back to 1873, and it has quite a history behind it. It was originally built 3/4 of a mile away from the shore, and they said it wasn't a good design because of that. Well, the shoreline kept eroding, and within just a few years it was 75 feet off the water. If you see that ring going around there, the lighthouse was made in sections. It was actually dismantled ring by ring and moved inland where it is now.
And those landings are really nice. It makes it a lot easier to climb up because you have an area where you can stop and rest, and that has a little table that's got a little bit of history background.
Once you made it to the top, you've got beautiful scenery, the lush greens of the inland part of the low country, and then they give way to the white beaches and the blue of the water and the sky.
Doesn't get any better than that.
It sure doesn't. Beautiful, beautiful area. And that is the light part of the lighthouse. Then it was time for some sweets. So we ended up at Sweet Carolina Bakeshop. This is over on Hilton Head Island.
And we were naughty.
We were very naughty. They have cupcakes, cookies, and muffins. And they have signature flavors that are different each day of the week. And we couldn't make up our minds, so we ended up with a box that we worked on over the next few days. But we went out.
Weeks.
Yeah. We went outside and decided to give them a try. I had I think it was a mocha latte.
Yes.
It was chocolate with a coffee flavored topping and a coffee bean on top. Cathy had a banana pudding. It had the banana cream in the middle with a vanilla wafer on the top.
Yeah, it was good.
We had to try each other's. It was amazing. It's a definite must stop when you're in the Hilton Head area. Now also on Hilton Head Island are the Stoney Baynard ruins. And this is a plantation, what's left of a plantation. And the interesting part of this is it's actually in a housing area. They've been very mindful of the history. There's housing pretty much up to where you park and in the outer areas around this, but you don't see any of the housing from the historic area. They've done a very nice job preserving it.
Yes, they did.
Now you'll see coquina, like what we've seen down in Florida in St. Augustine area. all made from shells mined from under the water. Now, this is what's left of their domestic slave quarters, just the ruins of the foundation. And that's all that's left of the kitchen chimney. Next off, it was beach time again, and off to Coligny Beach Park. This is actually on Coligny Circle in Hilton Head Island. And I will tell you, parking's a bit of a premium. It's a little bit hard to find the parking around there.
There's a lot of restaurants and shopping.
But it's definitely worth it. And it's got great places like the Adirondack chairs that are all undercover, that if you want to just sit back, relax, and listen to the sound of the ocean, it's great. Cathy was getting some great pictures here. And again, big, white, sandy beaches, nice wide beaches everywhere. It was just relaxing to
It sure was.
hear the sound of the water and watch the birds. And
You noticed it was kind of chilly that day. Everybody was wearing jackets, but it didn't keep them from going to the beach.
That's right. Now our next stop was a very exciting stop, Parris Island. Parris Island is home to the Marines, and it's one of the Marine bases where they're training them. It's a lot of history in their museum. That was actually the Monitor that you hear about from the Civil War Battle of the Merrimack and the Monitor. A lot of the recreations from the battles that were specific to this area and that were specific to the Marines.
It's easy to get there. They when you go to the gate, they actually, I think, did they give us a map?
They just gave us verbal
or
directions on how to get to the museum.
You just tell them you want to go to the museum and do the tour.
Once you're at the museum, before you leave, you can pick up a little driving tour, a self-guided tour booklet there, and you have free reins of the base, except for any areas that are marked restricted. But you can get in your car, follow the map. It gives you points around Parris Island that you want to go see. You're allowed to photograph, videotape. They were very, very welcoming, and it's definitely a very worthwhile tour to take. There was no charge for any of that.
Yeah.
The middle part of the building shows the change in the Marine dress over the years, including when they started having ladies' dress. This shows you some of the medals.
And this shows you some of the famous people that have been in the Marines.
Like Captain Kangaroo, B. Arthur, Drew Carey, George Jones is down there at the end. Now there was also a Marine air station close by. In fact, we got flown over at very low altitude by a fighter coming in landing. This shows you how confined they are in that cockpit with all of the ejection equipment. This is the part on the Marines and how they played into 9/11. That's actually part of the beam from one of the Twin Towers. Now this is a Marines training facility, and this shows you the drill instructor's creed. We were there on a graduation day, and out of respect to we didn't do any filming of them. That right there is the Purple Heart Monument. That is the Iwo Jima Monument. And this is Iron Mike. Now also on the island is Charlesfort. And Charlesfort was the first stronghold of France on our continent. The markers that you see there actually outline where the fort stood. That's part of the moat that went around it. And then that monument was constructed by the U.S. government to commemorate that. Charlesfort was originally built in 1562. Now, just beyond where Charlesfort was, this is the scene, and this is where the term low country comes from. It's where the water doesn't meet the land, but it kind of just becomes the land. And all that movement you see down there, those are little crabs. They're almost translucent, and they're all throughout that low country. But you'll see sand, you'll see little areas of water, all mixed in with the grasses.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we're back to Hilton Head Island, and this is the famous Harbour Town Lighthouse. Now, the Harbour Town Lighthouse is a little bit different in that it's a new construction. It was built in the 1970s. It's actually a wood construction, unlike most other lighthouses. Now they're building a new quarterdeck building there beside it, so there's a lot of construction around the lighthouse right now. But this is what you see when you go in. The lower level of the lighthouse is a gift shop.
And it's very close quarters.
Yeah, it is very, very tight. This is the top level of the lighthouse, and it's the top of the lighthouse shop. But this is the view when you reach the top. This is the inlet there at Hilton Head, where all the big boats come to play. You see boats, you see golf courses, great shopping.
Restaurants.
There's great restaurants all the way around there. And in this area right there by the marina sets the Liberty Oak, which is their giant live oak. Now we're off to historic downtown Beaufort. And Beaufort sits right along the water. And this main street that we're taking you down is about a block over from the waterfront. All of these buildings have been restored, and they have all kinds of art shops, gift shops, really some nice high-end shops.
Yes.
There was a little tea room, but it's just a beautiful, looks like a beautiful old downtown.
Yeah.
Kilwins is there with all their caramel apples. I had to get a picture of this. This is all glassware. You've got glass up on the ceiling in here. It's amazing.
I just loved the old buildings. They were so beautiful.
Yeah, that was a really cool looking bed and breakfast right there, and there's also some private homes right there. This was the original Beaufort Bank building. It's now called Paninis on the water, and that was the front of the building you saw, but all the way down through the main street there are these walkways that take you over to the waterfront. This is the back of that building. And we decided to try the outdoor dining that evening at Paninis. Now we'll let you take a look at the menu. They've got a great selection. Anything from dinners to pizzas to salads. And that was our view from our table. It doesn't get much nicer than that. I had macaroni and cheese with scampi shrimp on top. Cathy had baked ziti with meatballs and sausage.
And it was good.
You can tell the macaroni and cheese was great. And I think that's one of the first times Cathy didn't get a box to bring home.
That's right.
Now these are the backs of those buildings that we saw on Main Street, and this whole area along the waterfront is just amazing. Those areas that you see there all have swings hanging from them, like porch swings that you can sit there and watch the water. And we got there just in time to see the sunset, and the colors were just magnificent. And as the sun sets on Beaufort, we want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so and ring that notification bell so you'll know when we have new videos coming out. And if you liked today's video, give us a thumbs up. We really do appreciate that.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.
Thanks. Thanks for watching today.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.
And be sure to ring the notification bell so you'll know when new videos come out.
Don't forget to follow us on social media too.